Do you want to know how you can easily lose $10,000 in your business like that? I'm talking about that today. Hi, my name is Mark Bentz, and I'm the owner of one of the largest multidisciplinary clinics in Canada. I started the Virtual CEO because I wanted to take clinic owners from overworked, underpaid, to living life on your terms and a clinic that is extremely profitable. Hello, so today is how you lose $10,000, and I'm going to tell you it's really easy if you don't pay attention to the details of your business. And so I want to talk to you about employees and the importance of a really good employment lawyer. Sorry, someone's calling. And the importance, of course, of a great employee agreement. So I'll go back, 3-4 years ago. Everything's going well, things are lovely, but I noticed one of our employees, and it was in the admin side of the business, so one of our admin people, they just weren't doing their job. And I talked to them, and the job just didn't improve. I talked to them, and then the blaming started. It wasn't her, it was this other person causing this to happen. I looked into it. Wasn't the case. Talked to them. They didn't improve. So it was time. I was like, this is not the right position for you, and it's time to move on to another position. Well, when I politely said that to them, what I got in the letter was a letter from a lawyer. And it was a long, drawn-out statement about how I harassed them, how other people in the company bullied them. It went on and on about all the hardship and just the fact that, we were running up. Basically, it was like a slave factory. It really sounded like it. And I'm like, is this really, is this that person? Like, what is going on? This is not reality of what was being experienced in the business. And what happened was, and again, I can't fully speak for her, but from my perspective, she was moving on because she couldn't do the job. It was clear, I told her many times, and we'd given feedback, and she didn't change. And so what happened is she wanted to go after me for money, for a big severance. And I couldn't believe, because one thing is to sort of say, oh, wow, that didn't work out, and leave. The other thing is to sort of say, oh, well, the position isn't exactly mine. But it's about taking accountability. But I was shocked that someone would be so bold as to make crap up and attack our business when all it was about is she couldn't do the job. But the the letter that could have been turned into a lawsuit, was asking for, I think it was $12,000. I'm not sure what it was, but I should actually pull that up. But it was more than 10, and I was just like, wow. So I call up our employment lawyer, and they're like, well, did any of this happen? I'm like, absolutely not. Anything documented? No, she never said a word. Nothing's ever been articulated with me. Actually, what happened was she couldn't do the job, and I had given her feedback time over time. She couldn't change. She blamed it on other people, like I said, and then it was time to move her on. And he's like, no problem then. So that's it. I'm going to write back, and I'm going to say, sorry, none of this is true from our perspective, and cheerio. And the one thing he did say, which was a good idea, he said, you might, depending on where this goes next, because you can always fight. You get a lawyer, you can always have an argument. Doesn't matter how right you are. You might want to give her a few $1,000s just to go away. And I thought to myself, okay, that's reasonable, because I am paying, the employment lawyer $4.50 an hour to deal with my concerns. But I got to tell you, doing a great job. In the end, we didn't actually have to pay anything. We sent back a letter and we said, sorry, again, none of this is true. The employment agreement says this, and it clearly outlined that I own, I had to pay her 1 week's salary, because she had been over 3 months. So I did have to pay her that one did a severance. Now again, I could have said it was for cause and she went against our agreement, but the easier thing was to give her that 1 week, because we could have fought about that back and forth, and that would have cost me way more than 1 week. But the long sort of this end of this long story is, watch out. People can turn on you. That could easily have costed me $10,000 to get out of. She actually had emails that she referenced, which of course when she referenced it, the actual email had to be ad-libbed in her personal experience about how she felt, because the actual email said that she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do correctly, and she of course interpreted that as total harassment, bullying, but it clearly just said, hey, you got this wrong and we need to correct it because it's a serious thing. It was about accounting and administration, and numbers count, and people rely on us to get it right, and she was in the position to get it right and she didn't. So it was an interesting experience, and I caution you, if you don't have agreements in place and they haven't been vetted through an employment lawyer recently, please do so. Please do so. Don't be cheap. My God, what $1,500, $2,000 can save you. You can use that employment agreement on many, many people, but it completely saved my ass. So don't get out there. Don't lose money. Don't make stupid decisions like that. Don't be cheap. This business is everything to you. You've built it up. And so make sure you have a strong foundation, and a strong foundation is a strong employment agreement. Now, in addition, it's a strong independent contractor agreement, but we'll talk about that in another video. Okay, guys, get out there, take action.